coming from the panic room. Go, go, go!
Well, it started with an original idea that I had for a movie a long time ago, and we never produced it. We always liked it. And then we had an opportunity. Steven Spielberg told us that he would like to do a TV show with us. And a few months later, when we still haven't come up with an idea for a TV show, we were meeting with Michael Perry, who was the writer for Paranormal Activity 2, and we were just discussing different ideas that we've had for movies. We're telling him this idea for a movie, and he's like, why don't you make it into a TV show? And we're like, well, as a matter of fact, Mr. Spielberg would love to do a TV show with us. So we pitched this idea as a TV show, and DreamWorks loved it, and then we pitched it to ABC. And then Michael Perry came on board with Zach, and we wrote the pilot. And here we are now.
Where is it?
It's here.
All I got is river. Okay. If it's here, it's under the water.
You're walking that fine line between a true found footage show like what Oren Peli did in Paranormal Activity, and this is something where we clearly have actors that it's clearly not an unknown thing, but we want to give that same feeling of the fact that this could happen to you. And I think having those cameras there gives it a sense of more of being different than everything else you've seen on TV. It's not just the standard Twilight Zone or Lost or Things where it's sort of more of a soap opera. We wanted to make it much more visceral, where the camera reacts to the scares. That never happens, and I think that's something that's very scary when the cameraman himself gets scared too, and it's not just waiting for you on the audience. I think the effect it has is, instead of you being scared in your living room, you're scared for the people who are in the TV also, and I think that's an important thing to have both of.
And we always say, keep it ugly. When you make something that looks a little too pretty, it feels like a film, and films are wonderful and films are great, and we hope to make more of those too. But in this one, it's just the less polished, the better. So sometimes we just keep saying, let's make it just a little uglier, and then it'll be a bit more scary. A
lot of the times, our best footage, the actors are really filming in those scenes, and so we would not only use our cameramen, but we'd also use the actors' footage as they are in there filming everything, and sometimes they get the cooler stuff.
Yes, in many cases, the actors are actually they were trained to film, and they've shot much of the footage, and it's very tricky. You have to always figure out, where would it organically really take place, because it can't feel staged. It has to really feel real and organic. So you have to find an excuse. Why would there always be a camera somewhere? We're making our life a little bit easier because we have also stationary cameras all around the boat. So it's kind of like a horror version of Big Brother. So you definitely have to put a lot of thought into it. I think our editorial team was horrified once they saw how much footage is coming through. At some point, I think we were shooting on like 10 or 12 cameras at once.
Explorer, naturalist, and beloved television host Emmet Cole has been reported missing.
He was a wonderful character. He was a passionate environmentalist.
I think that might have been some inspiration in shaping the character of Emmet Cole, because when Steve Irwin went missing, it was almost like a global tragedy, and we're trying to think what would happen if something like that happened, but we're not sure if the person is really missing. If he's not necessarily deceased, he may just be missing, and we're not sure what happened to him. So there was probably a little bit that was inspired by that.
The shamans use it to catch the angry soul. Your father used blood to lure the spirit. They caught it inside, but we opened. We fed it with Lena's blood. Now it's strong enough.
To what?
Para casarnos.
You're going to see, to some extent, a different monster every week, or a different thrill every week, something coming after him. And we want to tell really good, strong, A stories, what we call them. But make sure that we really follow those key stories that were set up in the pilot of where is Emmet, what's he looking for, what's the magic out here, what's happening out here, and also about the characters and their relationships. Is this family ever going to be healed, or is it always going to be a little bit broken? Are they going to really find each other again, emotionally, not just physically?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that we're not going to do is just drag this thing out forever. We're not going to have one long 5-year mystery. We're going to keep asking questions, and then we're also going to keep answering them. So it's going to be a close-ended story every week. Come on over and get scared.